Um, I spotted an editing goof in yesterday's video. So if you stayed and you watched and you just saw a black screen with all of this in the corners, that was me not shrinking it down to where it should have been. My bad. Okay. You know what? I'm going to zoom you in just a bit. Right here, I think is good. We're going to move that right there. Yeah, I want to give you more of a focus in right here. This is what I have been using as my altar cloth. I did swap out the cloth that you've seen in past Straight Tarot Tuesday videos. I swapped it because today I was starting my offering ritual, which happened this morning, and I have a couple of teacups that I lay right about here and here, and I pour water into one, and I make tea and I bring it and I put it right about here. I overdid the water, and that cup overfloweth, shall we say. So I had to move everything from the altar while the candle and incense were still going, and take this one and dry it out. And I took the opportunity to iron the other one. So I really wanted to bring your attention to this one right here, because this, as a matter of fact, I'll turn it toward you. This was designed by someone in Iceland. And furthermore, get a good look at it. 4 Mjolnirs, Yggdrasil. I'm not sure what the A and the O were for. That was something that has been eluding me. So I'm not entirely certain, but as you can tell, nice background here and everything. It's a very nice cloth. It really is. And it will probably need some restitching by me, and I don't know how to do that, but you know what, that's fine. But anyway, this is the cloth that I have redesigned. We have shrunken it down to meet the size of my altar, but I'm going to use this one as a straight up tarot cloth. So I hope you don't mind. As a matter of fact, I know I keep pulling it off camera, and I'm sorry about that. My apologies. But it would seem that I didn't notice this, but the top part seems to be coming undone. Oh well, no big deal. Oh, I think I see what's going on. Okay, it's no big deal. This can still be used and enjoyed, and I think it's very pretty, is it not? I'm going to zoom out just a little bit there. There we go. But it's very pretty. I spotted this one at the South Jersey Pagan Pride Festival and went, ooh, yeah, that'll make a great altar cloth. Unfortunately, it has a lot of overhang, so that's why I've kind of worked with Wendy to redesign it. And instead of this A and this O here, I've got a couple different runes on it. I think it's if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Tewaz and Ansu's. No, Algi's and Ansu's. So I used 2 of my absolute favorite runes, one for protection and one for breath or communication, on either side of Yggdrasil. But anyway, I should probably be getting down to laying out the cards. We are using one of my favorites, Tarot of the Divine, today. If you're interested in getting into tarot, I do recommend this deck. It's a very nice deck. Pretty easy to understand too. At least I've had no trouble with it. So got the significator there, so that's who we are today. We've got Mind. We've got Tilda, who wants me to feed him early, which is not going to happen. Yeah, we're gonna have to move all this up. This is kind of a small mat, so there we go. Okay. Another thing, this, when I said this was designed by someone in Iceland, they also never paid for it. Which makes their loss my gain, obviously. There we are. Okay. So we got mind, body, spirit. I've got Mr. Bub running around doing his thing. And I think he wants to be fed early, which is, again, not going to happen. So, I really wanted to give you more of a, close-up view of this. I keep having to put a card in your face all the time. And the only time you ever really get to see the full spread in detail is when I post the preview photos. Haven't been able to do that on High-Fivin'. Johnny, what's going on with that thing, man? Well, let me post, photos like I normally do. There's a hang up in that system somewhere. So, let's see who we are. Who are we today? What is our significator? We have a Six of Swords. We're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the day. I know for a fact after editing and getting this uploaded, or starting the uploads anyway, I've got to go and vote. So that's what I'm going to do. If it's election day in your area, I hope that's what you're going to do as well. I know for a fact that my vote will be to move on to better and brighter, and not stuck in 2020 2.0. That's just me. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. That is what I'm going to do in that voting booth. And hopefully it'll make some kind of a difference. If I get outvoted, I get outvoted. But anyway, starting with the mind, we have an Ace of Cups, new emotional beginnings. We have that Knight of Coins. And we also have a Six of Coins. So, in our minds, we are taking a little bit of action today. But, capitalizing on some emotional beginnings. Never a terrible thing, ever. I do need coins today, because, quite frankly, I think that Six of Coins is generosity. Yes, we are going to be exercising a little generosity and kindness today. We are also about our hard work and ambition. Let me tell you something. Whenever you gain some new perspective, and that's what this is, when you start thinking a little more, when you start feeling a little more into your truth, you will see where your hard work and effort, and that's what this is. That's what hard work and effort is. When it pays off, you become, let's face it, sometimes you can look, I've even looked at my own bank account at times and been like, well, there's nothing I really want or need right now. And that allows me to help somebody out. That's capitalism for you. Anyway, if I can step in and help someone out, or give someone a little gift that'll brighten their day, that's great. But I have to have what I worked for, what I earned to do it. Starting to understand? Because I know we tend to get up, some of us tend to get up in our feels quite a bit. We see all these billionaires sending, oh, we're going into space, we're exploring space. Well, why aren't you taking care of problems here at home? Because it's their money. They worked, they made the right choices, they earned a lot of it. And guess what? Their stuff got marketed to us and we bought it. It's their money now, they can do whatever they want with it. That's out of our hands. But it's what people like that show me. And what they show me is that I can do the same thing. only I can focus the money I earn on something else if I desire. You can do it too. Anyway, going to the body, the physical, a 9 of coins. So we do have abundance in our lives. We do have that plenty there. We also have a Knight of Cups. At Knight of Cups, we're acting on those emotions today. And we have a 7 of Wands. This is where we work very hard on our creative endeavors. We're starting to see a pattern develop here. That we are putting in that work. We're putting in very hard work at that. And sometimes that hard work, it pays off in quite a big way. If you're putting your work into something, it's time to start looking at it and saying, is this what you really want? But we are taking that action. We're providing meaningful gifts. And then when we go from the 9, which is that abundance that we're reaping, we're going from that into the Wands. Going into that 7, we are actually enduring. We're fighting for our beliefs. With this card, we're fighting for what we believe in the most. We're standing with our truth right there behind us, and we are really putting in that work, trying to get that well, basically, this is where we're not going to be silenced. We won't stand for it. No one will. Understand? Because we do have that abundance. We're able to take that action. We're able to defend our beliefs and our thoughts and our ideas. But we will be fighting for them today. Interesting how I'm going to be voting, and that's a really great card to come up on an election day, isn't it? And it's that way in my state. I don't know how it is in yours. Your election day may be a little bit later. That's all right. Finally, for the spirit, we do have the Emperor. So we have that very rigid structure. We have a 2 of Swords, which means that we're having to make a choice between some thoughts here. We're having to really kind of examine things and understand it logically. Sometimes it does not make sense, sometimes it does. But remember, this is the spiritual, this is not the physical. And we round off with that Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups tells us quite a bit, doesn't she? Because this is where we kind of invite that warmth and that empathy. But she's also our intuition, so we do have to trust that. As much as we want to rely on structure, as much as we want to rely on ritual and, you know, those hard facts, when it comes down to the choice between our intuition and what the hard doctrine here says, which that's Arthur, by the way. When it comes to our structure, so let me show you something real quick, okay? I know this doesn't flow as easily as it did yesterday. Okay, so we're going to focus on the spirit right here. That difficult choice that we have to make that cuts both ways. It's going to be between these two things. Structure and intuition. But they still play important roles. These do not go away because you choose one or the other. Let me show you something. When you go with your intuition, and I think that's the choice that you need to make, this card changes from structure to bold leadership. We have bold action being taken everywhere. We have it here. We have it here. We have generosity here. We have those new emotional opportunities here. We have an abundance here. But we are having to fight for what we believe is right. That's part of our journey. And as long as we keep that in mind, we will see that our intuition will guide us. Our intuition and our that little voice in the back of your head that tells you, you know, that's probably not a good idea. Or, you know, that's a really great idea. You should really do that. You should choose this. Choose this action. Tell that person this thing. But don't tell them the other. You know, that sort of thing. You know, encourage this person. Try to steer them away from this activity over here, which could be harmful to them. You know, guide them gently. That sort of thing. Not, you know, rule by decree, so to speak. See, I've never really seen a card transformation in a reading before, but I'm seeing it now. And here's the thing, it doesn't necessarily have to change its presentation, but right here in our spirit, as though this is that structure, right? This is that, how can I put it? Well, that's not what I read in the book, right? This is not the text. When you choose to go with your intuition, your intuitive ability, suddenly these two become synthesized with each other, because you can use your intuition to take that bold leadership and possibly steer someone else in a direction that's very good for them. You can also do it to steer yourself in a direction that's good for you, and you already have all the information you need to make that choice, to know that your intuition is currently guiding you and saying, forget what anyone else says. So what if they call you an idiot? So what if they call you a buffoon? So what if they call you a moron? So what if they think you're a little flighty? Just stand on what you believe. The rest will take care of itself. We've seen that happening quite a bit lately. So to sum up, today is a day of bold action. Today is a day where you have to make that decision to follow your intuition. If you follow that intuition, you will come out on top. You will have to be that leader that you've always wanted to have around. Remember, Arthur ruled, but he ruled fairly. He saw no one as greater than another, and no one beneath another. And when it came time, when he asked Merlin, what is a knight's greatest virtue? Merlin told him, truth. It must be truth. I would hope that you're seeking yours today. Because your journey is only just beginning. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. I hope that you will make that decision to trust your intuition, that little voice that's guiding you, that little part of your soul that's speaking to you, that little spark of creation. I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Do that which lights you up. And as always, shine on. I promise you, no more editing goofs. No more. Pay more. Alright, so how about a little post-credit action? So, these cards are, as this one puts it, inspired by deities, folklore, and fairy tales from all over the world. So this card, as with any of the other cards, they have tried to model these after the Rider-Waite tarot, which they've done very well. That Six of Swords, I'm going to look into that right now. I'm going to tell you what each of these what fairy tale each of these cards comes from. So I'm going to use the book for this because I really haven't done too much of a deep dive into this. Here we go. So this is from Danae and Perseus. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, please comment down below with the phonetic pronunciation. And after being imprisoned by her own father, Danae and her young son Perseus escape. Perseus will eventually grow to defeat the Gorgon Medusa. That's the little kid in the boat. That's Perseus. And that's from ancient Greece. The Ace of Cups. Go to that for just a moment. Here we are. The Ace of Cups is from Matsuo Sake. And it says, sake is a drink of the gods, bringing people closer to the spirit world. Very cool. I'm loving this. This is pretty awesome. We're going to go to coins for just a moment. And that Knight of Coins is from Haitsi Abib, who is a South African deity. Haitsi Abib can be as stubborn as an ox getting into trouble for his efforts, but he is strong, loyal, and determined in all things he sets his mind to. Is this starting to make the reading kind of come alive for you a little bit? The fact that he's driving an ox. Definite Taurus energy there. Going back to the coins, we are now at the Six of Coins. That Six of Coins comes from the woman who was kind to insects, which is an Alaskan Inuit fable. The old woman from this Inuit tale understands the need to put positivity into the world in order to receive it back, the pay-it-forward methodology of karma. There you go. You know what else is a good illustration of the idea behind karma? Check out a series, if you can find it, please watch this. It's hilarious. It's called My Name is Earl. It is an absolutely hilarious series. You will love it. And it does illustrate just how karma affects us. Even though it's just a little sitcom, but it is funny. And we have here the Nine of Coins, the Legend of the Watermelon, which is a Vietnamese legend. Nine of Coins represents success, of course, and hard work and patience have resulted in a successful harvest. My items, watermelons. The road was long and hard, but the rewards were well worth the effort. And abundance, all over again. I really wish these people would go away. Leave me alone. I don't care. I don't know if they're... Boy, interrupting me while I'm doing it. You know, at least we didn't have the landscapers this time, did we? Okay, so Knight of Cups, we have Halabu the Hunter. Halabu is kind and gentle, while also willing to take a stand for what he believes in. Halabu provides for his village, and after befriending a dragon, he willingly sacrifices himself to save everyone he loves. That's a great Mongolian legend. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Who's song Wolf Totem, which is awesome, by the way. If you have not checked it out, I do recommend it. It is an absolute beast of a song. Okay, so Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands. This is none other than John Henry, An American folktale. The Seven of Wands represents an indomitable force against all odds. John Henry stands up for what he believes in and is willing to fight to the bitter end. His courage and resolve is an inspiration even to those who disagree with him. And that, probably the loudest card in here. And look, you've got John Henry right next to Halabu the Hunter. Of course, we have the Emperor, which is, of course, Arthur. I pointed that one out. That one I knew. King Arthur rules over his kingdom and his sometimes unruly knights with a just and firm hand. He unites the fractious, defends the weak, and lends his knowledge and understanding to all of his subjects. He does not divide. He does not rule with an iron fist. He simply informs and lets the situation do as it may. As he thrived, so did the land. But as he perished, or as he faltered, so did the land. He and the land were one. Two of Swords. We're going back to the swords for just a moment. This is from the Hindu epic Ramayana. Sita's decision between Scylla and Charybdis. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. If there are any Hindu members of the audience, please comment down below. It's Charybdis. Charybdis is not easy and cannot be made blindly. It calls for self-reflection. Things can only remain balanced for so long before a move must be made. Sort of shit or get off the pot. Okay, and finally we got the Queen of Cups. I'm going to take a guess and say that comes from I don't think it's from Little Mermaid. I really don't, because I know there is a card that represents that particular legend. I don't think they would do that twice. No, it comes from Yemoa, which is a Yoruba deity. The goddess Yemoa connects those on land to the depths of the spiritual plane. She is mysterious, but also a kind and caring mother. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That little bit of post-credit action shows you exactly how much research went into this particular deck and why it's one of my absolute favorites. Some of these legends I am very, very familiar with. Arthur, John Henry, so on and so forth. And a lot of them I'm not. I just had no idea. Like, I'm not very familiar with Inuit legends or Mongolian legends, Japanese or even South African legends. Greek legends a bit, yeah. Quite an eye-opener. And that's why this is one of my favorite decks, because I love those stories. I love them. I just love hearing them too. Bedtime stories, you know. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is everything. Alright. I've got to get this thing in the pipe. Probably nothing a little glue won't fix, I don't think. I think it'll be just fine. Anyway, I'm going to get this into my box. Like I said, it's a great cloth. It's very, very pretty. And I can't wait, because when the new altar cloths come in, I'm actually going to do an unboxing video. So if you're sticking around for this post-credit action I have going on, there's a bit of good news. Oh, my box is over there. Shoot. I got a box of magic right here, ladies and gentlemen. Stick of selenite, cards. There we go. That stick of selenite always keeps the card's energy cleansed. I can just tuck this right into here. There we go. That goes right in there. That's it. Later.